women around the world continue to resist, not only to fight for equal rights, but as part of and leaders of larger social movements fighting patriarchy and capitalism. While Central American women organize to demand their labor and human rights are respected by governments and transnational corporations. Indigenous women are on the front lines of resistance against resource extraction projects and state-sponsored femicide in both North and South. This year, on International Women's Day, Telesur honors revolutionary women around the globe working to build a more just, sustainable, and humane world. As women resist, Telesur will continue to cover how they make it happen.
I think International Women's Day is actually a really important day. In the context of the entire world, IWD is celebrated. In certain countries in the global south, it's actually recognized as a national holiday. It's not here on Turtle Island. And in terms of the co-optation of International Women's Day, I think one of the core issues is the co-optation of feminist issues in general by kind of white feminism, liberal feminism. And so the co-optation of IWD is part of this broader trend to really make feminism palatable for the middle class and for the white dominant society. And we see that exemplified most starkly, I think, in the suggestion that advances for women's equality are measured by women's success in the paid workforce. So, for example, seeing or holding up examples of women who become CEOs, women who become police chiefs, women who become heads of state. So the ways in which women end up emulating power. So really, the ability for white women and middle-class women to achieve a level of equality in the paid workforce is contingent upon the low-wage, exploited, cheap labor of women of color and migrant workers in this country that completely subsidizes their ability to enter into the workforce. And so when we talk about feminism and its co-optation, and particularly the co-optation of liberal feminism, we're masking that subsidy that women of color provide to white middle-class women. All of the forms of resistance that take place against capitalism are led by women. Women are leading movements all across this planet against capitalism and for an end to the exploitation of capital, particularly the exploitation of capital with respect to capital's exploitation of labor, because women are doing the hardest work with absolutely no pay and have, reaped some of the least benefits of capitalism despite subsidizing it almost entirely. Of course, we have a gender division of labor, but at times that gender division of labor can be shifted, but it's only shifted one way. It's shifted towards women entering into patriarchal capitalist systems, but we don't see men entering into domestic work. And that's partly because of patriarchy, but it's partly also because, again, that work is devalued under capitalism. That work, you can't commodify or put a value to raising children, for example, right? That is the work that's communitarian labor. That's the antithesis of capitalism. And so understanding violence against women and understanding the dynamics of gendered labor is critical to undermining patriarchy and the way it works through, not only secondary to, but actually works through capitalism and colonialism. But I do think there are some tenets central to feminism. Some of them being, for example, pro-choice, the idea that people define their gender identity as they see fit. So really feminism needing to take a strong stand against transmisogyny and transphobia, needing to take a stand in support of reproductive justice and pro-choice, and really having an intersectional analysis of feminism where, again, feminism is not simply understood as equality between genders, but is understood as fundamentally transforming the ways in which gender is understood and transforming the ways in which gender is performed and transforming the way in which gendered labor occurs within our community and society.
Un llamado a todas las mujeres para que nos unamos y luchemos por la reivindicación de nuestros derechos. por ejercer la participación, que es la que nos va a dar el sitial, el puesto que nos merecemos como mujeres en el mundo.
Bueno, yo soy feminista, trabajo y milito en el movimiento de mujeres del Ecuador. Desde pensar cuando uno empezó a ver los años 80, el Año Internacional de la Mujer, no entendíamos de qué estábamos hablando. Después comenzamos a trabajar, vimos mujeres valiosas, como las llamamos acá en el país, las mujeres históricas.
Bueno, para mí la participación ciudadana es el ejercicio que constitucionalmente tenemos todos los ciudadanos y ciudadanas. Es un derecho y es una obligación para nosotros, especialmente ahora en el tema de mujeres. Para nosotros es muy importante el tema de la participación ciudadana, puesto que desde nuestros espacios como lideresas en este caso estamos ejerciendo lo que es la participación ciudadana.
Sí hay esta costumbre histórica de organizarse. Digamos que siempre estamos organizados en torno a la necesidad que tenemos como familias o como comunidad. Ahora, lo importante que hemos hecho desde quienes trabajamos en función de los derechos de las mujeres, del empoderamiento de la mujer, es buscar que se organicen para que se apoderen de sus derechos. Porque esta experiencia de vida es la experiencia de mi proyecto de vida. Yo me hice para esto, yo me construí para ser formadora de las mujeres, no desde el momento de pasarles el conocimiento, sino de aprender con ellas, de construir juntas propuestas, procesos, de construir juntas proyectos de vida. Y yo me siento muy cómoda en esta lógica de vida, en esta lógica de trabajo. Me siento con mucha seguridad porque sé que somos hermanas, porque las mujeres, además de no solamente es que tenemos las mismas visiones del mundo desde la biología y demás, sino que también construimos, queremos un mundo que nos dé felicidad.